And it's great when you pull into your driveway a little bit late at night. It's like 8:30. And you see Mopar. Wonder what it is. Hey everybody, Sea-Dog here. If this is your first time to the channel, like, subscribe, comment. I do respond to all the comments, and any ideas you guys have for future mods, go ahead and throw them in, because we're doing stuff here. It's going to be fun. Today, I got that 3.09 Limited Slip Differential. And I'm going to do an install video for you guys. So here we go. Bit of a rainy day, but it's 60 some odd degrees. There's that Mopar box right there with the limited slip in there, and we're on ramps, but that's as far as I've gotten. So let's go through some of these things. These RTs come with an open diff. And the open diff basically means that it's both wheels could be spinning, or one wheel could be spinning. So what you end up getting is those one wheel peels. So with the limited slip differential, it sends power to both wheels equally. So that is my future, and you're better off the line. It's because you're getting traction both tires. Okay, real quick, giving you an idea of the tools that you are going to need to complete this project. Got the Mobi 1 75W90, and I believe that has the additive in it. Limited slip friction modifier included. So that's got that in there. We got the TransX Posi Traction Limited Slip Gear Oil Additive, and that's just extra protection just in case. We got some thread lock for the drive shaft bolts. This is a T50. Can you see that? T50. T50, that is for the drive shaft as well, to loosen and retighten those bolts. And then just a regular socket set. I believe the diff bolts are 21 millimeters. So I have that here in this section somewhere, I believe, right here. So with that being said, let's get this party started. Alright, underneath the chally, let's talk about what needs to happen. Alright, so for those of y'all that don't know, this is the differential. This is my open diff 3.07, 230 millimeters. And right in front of that is where the drive shaft connects right there. So in order to get this, which I believe they call a pumpkin, out of here, I have to drop the exhaust and get the exhaust out of the way. So as you guys know, if you saw my last videos, I did a mid-muffler delete. So you see the clamp right there and the clamp over here. I'll loosen up those clamps, and then I'm going to have to loosen up. There's a hanger over here somewhere for the exhaust to stay standing. I believe there's a hanger up here somewhere as well. So I'll loosen those up, and we're going to pull the exhaust from the mid-muffler delete back right off the car. Get those out of the way. Once that's complete, I'm going to use my trusty jack over there, and I'm going to jack up, or get a jack up to the bottom of the current differential, so when I loosen the bolts, it doesn't just drop straight onto the ground. You know, so just sliding in here. So these are your drive shafts, one on this side and then one on this side. Hard to see, but basically identical. Hopefully when I drop everything, those will have enough movement to where I can pull them out. So we're gonna experience this. I've seen quite a few videos on this process, and some people say you gotta remove one whole side, brakes, hub, the whole 9 yards, so you have enough room to where you can pull it back and forth. I'm going to attempt to do this with the tire still on and not removing that, to see if that is actually going to be the quickest process, as opposed to the long extended one where you're taking off the caliper, the hub, and all that jazz. So hopefully, keeping my fingers crossed that I get that done. Now, one thing I noticed, and I'm hoping that maybe when I drop that hanger that this will be okay, because I've never had anybody mention in their videos I have the active exhaust, and I am hoping that this I do not have to remove in order to drop this exhaust and get it out of there. Now, I don't know for sure. Once I get into it, I will let you guys know, but I know I've watched multiple videos and I've never once heard anybody mention anything about the active exhaust. So there's that, and man, hopefully I got a lot of time to get this done. Oh, I do. Alright, so I'm under here so far. What I've done is I removed the 2 clamps right there and just pushed them forward on the mid-muffler delete. That's the front of it. I left these 2 clamps because I'm just going to pull that whole thing off. Sorry about the music in the background, but I'm underneath here, and so I'm not going to turn it off. Or not music, but video in the background. So right here is the active exhaust. So there's a little button there. Let me move this light around, maybe you guys can see it better. So there's a little clip, like right here, that will release this little line right here. As you can see, that's connected up to something above. So if I end up dropping this exhaust down, that's going to pull that right out unless I unhook it. So I think what I'm going to do is just pull that little clamp before I drop the exhaust down, and then just pop it in once I get it back up and in place. But here's the hanger right here. I'm blocking you. There's the hanger right there that I think I'm going to figure out. I think that bolt right there, if you can see it there, That bolt right there, I think I'm going to just pop that off, and this hanger should drop right down, or the whole thing should drop right down. So once I release that, like I said, that clip and the that little black thing that's holding it on there, yeah, this isn't the greatest, but so those of you with active exhaust, just be aware, you got to do something about it, or you're going to be in trouble. Alright, so far, so good. I unhooked this little clip from the active exhaust, and then I had to pull out, there's a little, I don't know if you can see that, there's that little plastic like screw thing. I just basically backed that out, so this was loose, hanging loose. So it was off of the clamp here, or the hanger. So then I took out the 13mm bolt, held the hanger in place right up there. So I took out that bolt, and you got to lift it up over this black thing right here. So you just got to lift it up over the lip of that black thing right there. And then the hanger itself falls down, but that's where the 13mm bolt was stuck into, and it wasn't on very tight. It was just basically holding it in place. It's so super easy to get off. It didn't take much. So now we're moving towards the back. I gotta find the next hanger. Let me get back out of focus here. So I gotta find the next hanger. It's probably over the resonator, which is that round thing right there. So that's where we're at. Moving along. Alright, so the last hanger is right here. So I'm assuming that here's the resonator. That's that round thing right there. But I'm assuming if I take out that bolt right there, this whole thing's going to drop down rather quickly. So I'm going to back that out, see what it looks like, and see where we're at. Everything else is loose right now, except for I didn't pull it off of the exhaust up front there. I did not pull that off where the mid-muffler is. I just left it on there. I just pulled the clamps. So I'm assuming that once I release this and it is actually free, then I can just wiggle that out of position and pop it off without it just dropping right to the ground. So here we go. Alright, so just remember, if you guys decide you're going to do this little job yourself, it is going to take longer than the 2 hours that most people say the job takes with a lift. I could see 2 hours with a lift. But, so this hanger right here in the back was way up there. I don't even know if you can see that. It's up there somewhere. It was in here. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But either way, so I ended up having to take loose the clamps at the back of the mid-muffler delete as well, because it was just when I dropped this down, it was too loose and started to bend at that junction point. So I was messing up my mid-muffler delete, so I hurried up and put a jack stand underneath it and just pulled the clamps in the back as well. So I just went ahead and loosened them here and pulled the clamps back before I actually released this one. So I haven't released that yet. So just so you guys know, this is not the easiest job in the world. It's kind of tedious and it takes a lot of patience, but it can be done so far. I have not given up.